Okay, so before I go into the script here, I just want to explain a little bit about the barcodes and how I set that up. So I used a website like this to generate barcodes corresponding to some kind of imaginary part or project numbers. I decided to use the code 128 uh, encoding because it's simple linear barcode and it supports numbers and letters. But the barcode scanner that I'm using here supports all sorts of different types of barcodes and QR codes. So the exact specifics aren't super important, but for this example, that's what I'm using. And so what I already went ahead and did was created some different barcodes here, all with slightly different part numbers, and then I created corresponding Control X projects named accordingly to match each one of these. So if I open one of these up, you can see it's just a sample part with some inspection features, right? No scan data or anything yet. So the idea here is that the operator would scan the barcode. That will then bring open the corresponding project, and then the scan data can be captured and the inspection can be completed. So now that I have these barcodes printed out in front of me, I'm able to use the scanner to scan them, and the way it works is actually quite simple. The scanner just acts essentially as a text input device. So for example, if I just come here into Notepad++ and scan the first one, you can see it just pulls the text that's encoded in the linear barcode and essentially types it into the document. So that makes this very simple. There's no need for special APIs or anything like that. Just essentially the out-of-the-box drivers for this barcode scanner allows it to work with any software that can take text input. So that's the approach that I took with my script, is to just prompt the user for text input, and then the scanner will enter in that text, and then that text determines the project that needs to be opened. So to just go over here what's in the script, the first section here is pretty much all tkinter code, which is a library for Python that allows for kind of easy creation of UI. So the tkinter code is just telling it to create a window with a text box and an OK button, and make it so that that text box is active, so that the cursor is active in that text box. And then when the user either clicks OK or hits the Enter key, that will then close the window and capture that input as input text. So the first thing we do after the tkinter code is just print that out to the output window for confirmation. And then I've told it where my template folder is. So this is the folder here that contains all my CX projects. And so what it does is it takes that path and then appends the part number or name, right, this code, and then appends CX project. So it calculates the corresponding project name based off the input text. It prints that just for debugging purposes, and then finally it uses the CX Python API to use load document, which is essentially file open, and open to that defined path. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new project, and we'll run the script to show how it works. So I'm going to hit play. That brings up this input window, and you can see the cursor is already active there, so I don't need to do anything with my mouse. I'm going to scan the final barcode here, and we can see that that enters in the part name into that, and then all I have to do is hit enter or click OK, and we can see it's opening the file now, and it printed out the input that I entered and then the calculated file path for the corresponding Control X project. And now it's ready to take scan data and generate a report or whatever else is next. So it's pretty simple. Didn't require any complicated APIs or anything like that. Just some simple tkinter code to capture the text and then pass that over to Control X for the file open.